If you're over 50 and struggling with erectile dysfunction, what I'm about to reveal might sound impossible. But there's a man, let's call him Robert, who went from complete erectile failure, couldn't achieve erection at all for 8 months, to having rock-solid erections within 3 weeks. Without increasing his medication dose, without surgery, without pumps or injections. And the secret? He stopped trying to get an erection. I know that sounds insane. Stop trying and suddenly it works? But that's exactly what happened. And before you dismiss this as some new age nonsense, let me tell you, this technique is used by professional adult film performers, elite athletes, and public speakers who need to perform under extreme pressure. It's based on solid neuroscience about how your brain controls your sexual function. And it works so consistently that it's become the first intervention I recommend for men whose erectile problems are rooted in their minds, not their bodies. Here's what makes this even more shocking. When Robert came to see me, we ran comprehensive tests. His testosterone was slightly low but not terrible. His blood flow was slightly reduced but not severely. Physically, he should have been capable of at least partial erections. But every single time he tried to have sex with his wife, complete failure. Nothing. For 8 months straight. His marriage was falling apart. He'd stopped initiating any intimacy. He felt like less of a man. He was desperate. And when I told him his problem was 90% psychological, he was angry. He said, "Don't tell me it's in my head. The failure is real. My penis doesn't work." I explained that psychological doesn't mean imaginary. It means his mind was actively blocking his physical function. His brain was so afraid of failure that it was guaranteeing failure. And there's a specific technique, I call it the performance paradox protocol, that breaks this cycle almost immediately once you understand how to use it. I'm Dr. Madison Li, board-certified urologist with over 12 years of experience, and today I'm revealing this protocol step by step. The exact technique that Robert used. The neuroscience explaining why it works. And most importantly, how you can start using it tonight to break free from performance anxiety and reclaim your sexual confidence. But here's the critical part you need to understand before we go further. This technique only works if you truly commit to the most counterintuitive instruction you'll ever receive about sexuality. And at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal what Robert did on the very first night that changed everything. The one action that felt completely wrong but produced results within 72 hours. If you skip to the end now, you'll miss the context that makes it work. So stay with me. Because here's what you need to know. Approximately 70% of erectile dysfunction cases in men over 50 have both a physical and a psychological component. The physical part might be causing 20 or 30% reduction in function. But the psychological overlay, the anxiety, the fear, the performance pressure, that's causing the other 70 to 80% of your dysfunction. Fix the psychological component and suddenly the physical function you have left is more than adequate for satisfying sex. Stay until the end because I'm revealing Robert's complete protocol, the specific mental techniques he used, the conversation he had with his wife that made this possible, and the exact timeline of how his erectile function returned. This could be the information that transforms your intimate life within 3 weeks. Not 3 months. 3 weeks. Let me start by showing you exactly what's happening in your brain when performance anxiety destroys your erections. Here's what most men don't understand about erectile function. Your penis doesn't control your erections. Your brain does. Specifically, your autonomic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that runs automatically without conscious control. Your autonomic nervous system has 2 branches that work like opposite switches. The sympathetic nervous system, this is your fight or flight response. When it's activated, your body prepares for danger. Heart rate increases. Blood pressure rises. Blood flow redirects from non-essential functions to your major muscles so you can fight or run. And critically, blood flow to your digestive system, your genitals, and other non-survival organs shuts down. In sympathetic mode, erections are physiologically impossible. Your body is saying, "We're in danger. This is not the time for reproduction. Shut down sexual function and focus on survival." The other branch is your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest mode. When it's activated, your body relaxes. Heart rate slows. Blood pressure normalizes. Blood flow returns to all organs, including your genitals. This is the state required for erections. Here's the brutal truth. When you're anxious about sexual performance, when you're worried about disappointing your partner, when you're afraid your erection will fail, your brain interprets that worry as danger. It doesn't distinguish between "I'm afraid of being eaten by a tiger" and "I'm afraid of erectile failure." Fear is fear. Anxiety is anxiety. Your brain activates sympathetic mode. Blood flow to your penis shuts down. Erection becomes impossible. Not difficult. Impossible. Your nervous system has literally blocked the physiological pathway required for erection. And here's where it gets worse. That first erectile failure, which might have been caused by stress, fatigue, alcohol, or just bad timing, creates anxiety about the next sexual encounter. You approach the next situation thinking, "What if it happens again?" That thought, that question, activates sympathetic mode, which guarantees the failure you're worried about. Now you've failed twice. The anxiety intensifies. Something's wrong with me. I'm broken. I'm not a real man anymore. These thoughts are catastrophic for erectile function. They create a self-fulfilling prophecy. You expect failure, which creates the anxiety, which activates the wrong nervous system, which causes the failure, which confirms your expectation. This is the performance anxiety cycle. And it's absolutely brutal because every failure makes the next failure more likely. Within months, you're avoiding intimacy entirely because the anxiety is so overwhelming. Robert was trapped in this cycle. 8 months of consistent failure. Every attempt made him more anxious. Every anxiety-filled approach guaranteed another failure. He'd convinced himself he was permanently broken. But he wasn't. His physical function was fine. His mind was sabotaging him. Now, here's the shocking part. The technique that breaks this cycle doesn't involve trying to control your erection at all. In fact, it requires the exact opposite. And this is where most men struggle because it feels completely wrong. The technique is based on what I call the performance paradox. And understanding this paradox is the key to everything. Let me explain. The performance paradox states this: the more you try to control an automatic physiological process, the less control you actually have. The harder you try to force an erection, the more impossible erection becomes. Think about other automatic processes. Breathing. Normally, you don't think about breathing. It just happens automatically. But right now, because I mentioned it, you're aware of your breathing. And if you try to consciously control it, if you focus intensely on taking the perfect breath, your breathing becomes awkward and uncomfortable. Conscious control disrupts the automatic process. Same with sleep. If you try really hard to fall asleep, if you focus intensely on forcing yourself to sleep, what happens? You stay awake. The effort prevents the very thing you're trying to achieve. Erections work the same way. They're automatic. They happen when you're aroused and relaxed. When you're in parasympathetic mode. But when you consciously try to make an erection happen, when you focus on your penis and will it to get hard, you activate conscious effort. Conscious effort engages your sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic mode blocks erections. So the trying itself prevents the erection. This is the performance paradox. The solution is counterintuitive. To improve your erectile function, you must stop trying to achieve erections. Now, when I tell men this, they think I'm crazy. Stop trying to get an erection? But getting an erection is the whole point of sex. No. Connection, pleasure, and intimacy are the point of sex. Erection is one possible means to those ends, not the end itself. Here's the secret that adult film performers, athletes, and public speakers understand. Elite performers don't focus on the outcome. They focus on the process. A basketball player shooting a free throw doesn't think, "I have to make this shot or we lose the game." That thought creates pressure, which creates tension, which disrupts their automatic shooting motion. Instead, they focus on their breathing, their form, the sensation of the ball in their hands. The process. The outcome takes care of itself. An actor on stage doesn't think, "I have to remember all my lines perfectly or I'll ruin the show." That thought creates anxiety, which makes forgetting more likely. Instead, they focus on being present in the scene, responding to their scene partner, experiencing the emotions. The lines come automatically when they're present. For sexuality, the same principle applies. When you stop focusing on achieving an erection and instead focus on sensation, connection, and pleasure, your nervous system relaxes. Parasympathetic mode activates. And erections happen automatically, without effort. This is what Robert learned. And this is what transformed his sexual function within 3 weeks. Now, I'm going to show you the exact protocol Robert used. But first, I need to reveal the 4 critical components that make this technique work. If you miss any of these components, the technique won't work. So pay close attention. Component 1, redefine sexual success. Right now, you're probably defining sexual success as achieving a firm erection, having penetrative intercourse, and reaching orgasm. With this definition, if your erection fails, you've failed. The pressure is enormous. Robert was doing this. Every sexual encounter was a pass-fail test where his erection was the only thing being graded. No wonder his anxiety was through the roof. The first component of the technique is redefining success. Sexual success is not about erection quality. Sexual success is about connection with your partner, experiencing pleasure in your body, giving pleasure to your partner, and having an intimate, satisfying experience together. With this new definition, success is achievable regardless of your erection. You can have an incredibly satisfying sexual experience with no penetration at all. Through touching, kissing, oral sex, manual stimulation. All of this is real sex. All of this creates connection and pleasure. When you genuinely internalize this new definition, when you truly believe that sex without penetration can be completely satisfying, the performance pressure evaporates. Your nervous system relaxes. And paradoxically, erections become easier because you're no longer anxious about them. Component 2, practice outcome independence. Outcome independence means you completely detach your sense of self-worth, success, or satisfaction from whether you achieve an erection. Before a sexual encounter, you explicitly commit to this mindset: I'm going to focus on pleasure, sensation, and connection. My erection will do whatever it does. I'm not going to monitor it, check it, or worry about it. If it happens, great. If not, we'll still have a wonderful time together. This is not pretending you don't care. This is genuinely letting go of attachment to the outcome. It's one of the hardest mental shifts for men to make because we've been conditioned our entire lives to see erections as proof of our masculinity and sexual adequacy. But here's the truth. Your worth as a man, as a partner, as a lover, has nothing to do with your erection. Nothing. Your capacity for connection, for giving pleasure, for emotional intimacy, these matter infinitely more. Robert struggled with this component at first. He said, "How can I not care about my erection?" That's the whole problem. I explained, you don't have to not care. You just have to care more about connection and pleasure than about erection. When those become your priorities, the pressure releases. Component 3, shift focus to sensation. During intimate activity, men with performance anxiety are not present in their bodies. They're in their heads, monitoring. Is my erection firm enough? Is it staying hard? Oh no, it's softening. What do I do? This is embarrassing. This constant mental monitoring keeps you in sympathetic mode. You cannot be aroused and anxious simultaneously. They're neurologically incompatible states. The technique is to deliberately shift your attention away from your penis and onto sensory experience. The warmth of your partner's skin. The taste of her lips. The softness of her hair. The sound of her breathing. The pressure of her body against yours. The pleasure in your hands as you touch her. When you're fully present with sensory experience, fully embodied in the moment, you're not anxiously monitoring performance. This sensory presence activates parasympathetic response. Arousal builds naturally. Erections often follow, but you're no longer depending on them. Robert practiced this religiously. Every time he noticed himself checking his erection, he redirected attention to another sensation. Touch, taste, smell, sound. Within 2 weeks, he reported that intimate time felt completely different. He was actually enjoying it instead of dreading it. Component 4, embrace non-penetrative sexuality. This component is crucial. You must genuinely, not just intellectually but emotionally, embrace the idea that satisfying sexuality doesn't require penetration. Oral sex, manual stimulation, sensual massage, mutual masturbation, extended foreplay, all of these are complete sexual experiences. When you truly internalize this, you remove the do-or-die pressure from your erection. If penetration doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. You have many other ways to create pleasure and connection. Here's what's fascinating. Once men truly embrace non-penetrative sexuality, their erectile function often dramatically improves. Why? Because the pressure is gone. They're not desperately trying to achieve erection for penetration. They're just enjoying sensual experience. And in that relaxed state, erections happen naturally. Robert told me something profound at his follow-up. He said, "We spent 6 weeks doing sensate focus exercises with no penetration at all. And honestly, some of those sessions were the most satisfying sexual experiences of my entire marriage. When penetration finally did happen again, it was nice, but I realized it wasn't actually the most important part." That realization freed me. These 4 components work together. You can't skip any of them. Redefine success. Practice outcome independence. Focus on sensation. Embrace broad sexuality. Together, these create the mental framework that neutralizes performance anxiety and allows your natural erectile function to work. Now let me show you exactly how Robert implemented this, step by step. Here's exactly what Robert did, night by night, week by week. Week 1, the conversation. Robert's first step was having a vulnerable, honest conversation with his wife, Lisa. This is critical. You cannot do this alone. Your partner must understand and cooperate. Robert told Lisa, "I've been struggling with severe performance anxiety about sex. The anxiety is causing my erectile dysfunction, and the dysfunction is increasing my anxiety. I'm trapped in a cycle. I'm working with Dr. Li on a technique to break this cycle, but I need your help." He explained the performance paradox protocol. For the next several weeks, they would explore intimacy without any goal of penetration or even erection. They would focus entirely on pleasure, connection, and sensation through touching, kissing, and sensual exploration. No pressure. No performance expectations. Lisa's response was incredibly supportive. She said she'd been sensing his anxiety and worrying about it. She was relieved that he was addressing it, and she was happy to participate in whatever would help. This conversation alone reduced Robert's anxiety by about 40%. Just knowing his partner understood and wasn't expecting erection or penetration lifted enormous pressure. Weeks 2 and 3, Sensate Focus Phase 1. Robert and Lisa committed to intimate time 3 times per week. They scheduled it, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday nights, 30 to 45 minutes each session. Phase 1 of Sensate Focus is non-genital touching only. They took turns. One person gives touch, exploring their partner's entire body except breasts and genitals. Back, arms, legs, neck, face, everywhere else. The receiver focuses entirely on sensation. No talking. No goals. Just sensation. After 15 to 20 minutes, they switched roles. The first session was awkward for Robert. He kept thinking, this is strange. When is the real sex going to start? But Lisa was fully engaged, present, enjoying the experience. By the third session, Robert stopped analyzing and started actually feeling. The sensation of touching Lisa's skin. The warmth of her body. The intimacy of unhurried exploration. Something shifted. He realized how much he'd been missing by always rushing toward the goal of intercourse. This was intimacy without pressure. Connection without performance. It felt good. Interestingly, during the fifth session of non-genital touching, Robert achieved a spontaneous partial erection. He noticed it but followed the protocol. He didn't do anything with it. He didn't draw attention to it. He kept focusing on the touching exercise. The erection softened after a few minutes. And that was fine. What mattered is that his body responded when he wasn't trying. This was evidence that his physical function was intact. Weeks 4 and 5, Sensate Focus Phase 2. After 3 weeks of non-genital touching, Robert and Lisa moved to Phase 2, genital touching, but still no goal of orgasm or intercourse. Just exploration and pleasure. They continued the turn-taking format. Now they could touch anywhere, including genitals, but the rule was no pressure to perform or respond in any particular way. If touch felt good, communicate that. If something didn't feel good, communicate that. Stay present. Focus on sensation. During the first session of Phase 2, Robert experienced significant anxiety when Lisa touched his penis. He immediately started monitoring. Is it getting hard? No. Why not? This is the test. He caught himself. He remembered the technique. He redirected attention to the sensation of her touch, not whether his penis was responding. He focused on his breathing. He relaxed into the experience. His penis didn't achieve full erection that first session. But that was okay. That wasn't the goal. By the third session of Phase 2, Robert achieved firm erection during Lisa's touch. He practiced outcome independence. He thought, this erection is nice, but it's not the point. Sensation and connection are the point. He didn't try to maintain the erection. He didn't shift into performance mode. He just stayed present. The erection lasted about 10 minutes before softening. They continued the touching exercise. Robert felt calm. No panic about the erection going away. Just continued presence and pleasure. This was the breakthrough. His body could respond. And he could maintain the relaxed mental state even during response. Automo. Dando continuidade ao processamento do roteiro em inglês, conforme as regras. Aqui está a Part 5, Final, do novo roteiro processado, fielmente em inglês. Week 6, Integration Phase. After 5 weeks of sensate focus, Robert and Lisa began integrating broader sexual activities. Oral sex, manual stimulation, whatever they both enjoyed. Still with the rule, no requirement for penetration. Robert practiced all 4 components continuously. Sensation focus. Outcome independence. Redefined success. Broad definition of sexuality. During the second session of this phase, Robert achieved very firm erection during oral sex. It felt natural to try penetration. They did briefly, for about 2 minutes. The erection remained firm. They stopped and returned to other activities. Robert said something crucial at this point. I realized that penetration wasn't actually the highlight of the session. The whole experience was satisfying. Penetration was just one element among many. Weeks 7 and 8, consolidation. For the final 2 weeks of the initial protocol, Robert and Lisa continued intimate sessions 3 times per week. Sometimes penetration happened. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes Robert's erections were firm. Sometimes less so. And it didn't matter. They'd successfully redefined sexuality in their relationship. Success was connection and pleasure, not penetration or erection quality. With this mindset, every session was successful. At the 8-week mark, Robert came back to see me. His face was completely different. He looked relaxed, happy, confident. He reported consistent erectile function during intimate time. Not perfect. Sometimes he needed more stimulation or time. But functional. And more importantly, he reported zero performance anxiety. He was enjoying sexuality again for the first time in years. Lisa came to that appointment with him. She said, the protocol didn't just fix his erectile dysfunction. It transformed our entire intimate relationship. We're more connected now than we've been in 20 years. That's the power of the performance paradox protocol. It works. And it works fast if you commit fully. Now, let me reveal what Robert did on the very first night that I promised to tell you. The one action that felt completely wrong. On the very first night that Robert and Lisa started the protocol, after they'd had the conversation and agreed to try sensate focus, Robert did something that felt completely counterintuitive and wrong. Something that violated every instinct he had about sexuality. He went into the intimate session with the conscious intention of not achieving an erection. He literally told himself, tonight, I'm not going to try to get an erection at all. In fact, I hope I don't get an erection because that would prove I can enjoy intimacy and give pleasure without depending on my penis. This felt insane to him. For 8 months, he'd been desperately trying to achieve erection. Every sexual thought was about willing his penis to work. And now I was telling him to actively not want an erection? But he trusted the protocol. He committed. That first night, he and Lisa did 30 minutes of non-genital sensate focus. He touched her back, her legs, her arms. She touched him. No genital contact at all. And you know what happened? About 20 minutes into the session, he achieved a spontaneous partial erection. Not from any direct stimulation. Just from the relaxed intimacy of touching his wife without performance pressure. He noticed it. And instead of panicking or trying to maintain it, he thought, interesting. But that's not why I'm here. He kept focusing on the sensual touching. The erection softened after a few minutes. And that was fine. But that moment changed everything for Robert. He realized his body could still respond when his mind wasn't sabotaging it. The erection wasn't the result of trying. It was the result of relaxing. That's the secret. That's what I've been building toward this entire video. The secret to overcoming psychogenic erectile dysfunction is not trying harder, not focusing more on your erection, not forcing performance. It's letting go. Surrendering the need to control. Focusing on everything else about sexuality, connection, sensation, pleasure, and trusting that your body will respond when the conditions are right. When you stop trying to get an erection and start trying to connect with your partner, to feel pleasure, to be present in your body, your nervous system shifts from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And in parasympathetic mode, erections happen naturally. This is the performance paradox. This is the secret. And it works. Here's what you do starting today. Step 1. Accept that if your erectile dysfunction has a psychological component, trying harder will not fix it. Letting go will. Step 2. Have the conversation with your partner. Explain performance anxiety, the performance paradox, and ask for her cooperation with sensate focus exercises. Step 3. Commit to 8 weeks of the protocol. 3 sessions per week. No skipping. This is medicine for your mind and your sexuality. Step 4. Practice the 4 components religiously. Redefine success. Outcome independence. Sensation focus. Broad sexuality. These are not optional. They're the foundation. Step 5. Be patient with yourself. Breaking an 8-month anxiety cycle takes time. Robert saw results in 3 weeks, but full resolution took 8 weeks. Give yourself that time. Step 6. If you need help, get it. Sex therapist, psychologist, or couples counselor. Professional support accelerates results. My challenge: commit to 30 days of this protocol. Then comment below with your results. Your story could change another man's life. If this video gave you hope and a clear path forward, hit that like button. Subscribe for more science-based sexual health content. Turn on notifications. Share this with any man struggling with performance anxiety. This information could save his intimate life. I'm Dr. Madison Li. The secret to sexual performance isn't in your penis. It's in your mind. Master your mind, and your body will follow. Your confident sexual life is waiting. Not in trying harder. In letting go. See you in the next video.